And missing you made me stronger. Then I'd be Superman if I fly around the world. It wouldn't take me longer than it would to be your man. I fight.
I was saying enough of this click. Welcome to the 156th episode of the Korea podcast. I'm your host Jack, located in Ulsan, South Korea. Today is the 2nd of May already. March, April, May. Maskless day, maskless beginning of the end, I guess, or maybe the end of the end. Who knows? Whatever it is. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I was just clicking through the sharing feeds. I was just finishing up sharing the podcast on my news media outlets on Facebook because I just didn't get around to do it, so I was just sending out some last ones. Let me just check quickly, make sure that the sound is on and I can hear myself and the two people that are here. Beautiful. If this is your first time to the Korea podcast, make sure to smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more next week. In today's podcast, what we're going to talk about, masks are gone. South Korea is dropping all the masks, which is fantastic. A bunch of other stuff, but I mean, that's it. That's it for today. Masks are gone, and that's all that matters. The rest is history. Might as well close the podcast here. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye. No, I'm just kidding. We're just getting started. Let me just figure out the music here as well before we get to other things. Where is it? Yeah, we'll play some tunes here. So we're going to start off as usual by going through the failed parking in South Korea. There we go. So today we've got some doozies here. This guy parked on the sidewalk. No idea where it is. This is kind of similar to last week or 2 weeks ago. There was a Bentley that was parked in the middle of a street of a sidewalk. This is a very, very common occurrence in South Korea. Nothing to see here, folks. It's pretty common to see cars like that parked in the middle of a sidewalk. Why that is, I have no idea. Beats me, because they don't want to park on the main road and get a ticket, so they figured, I guess, over here nobody comes around. Cops don't do anything. Cops. We will never receive a ticket from a cop walking around on the street. There is no parking cops like we have back home. Constables walking around and handing out tickets into windows. There's no such thing. So when you park on the street, you will get caught by a camera that's hanging above, or a camera that's hanging down from a van or something like that. From a van, and as cars drive by, they will shoot your ass. But there is no constables walking around the streets and sidewalks and giving out tickets. So, yeah, that's probably why people park on sidewalks like this. This dude clearly parked in a very peculiar way, blocking the entrance and exit to this place. Maybe that's his. Maybe this could be. It could be his place. So that's why this. Double yellow line. You don't park on double yellow lines. And the fact that this is the only car in the neighborhood kind of tells you that maybe this is not the best spot to be parking, eh? Maybe. What car is this? Yeah, Genesis. Go figure. This is my favorite corner. Just in the past week, I lost count how many cars were parked. Double red line. There is a fire hydrant right there. I don't care about the license. I hope somebody flags him down and and gets him. Actually, as a matter of fact, I filed reports for all of these suckers. This guy, same one. This is the same day. This isn't a different day. This is the same day, just a couple of hours later, maybe not even hours. And again, this is the same spot on the same day, just an hour later or so. It's the corner of doom. Not sure what's happening here. This looks like a pedestrian walking side street. Like these women are here in the middle of the street here. These cars are parked. This could be like an unfinished road for all I know. So I don't know if that's even fair to post this vehicle. Maybe what is this? Is that a Genesis or Tesla? One of these. I think maybe the car belongs to this dude here and he's just showing off his wheels. That's what's happening. Not sure what this is. This is just construction and obviously a wall that's blocking. This is Uslan. This is who posted this, man. Yo, this is from Uslan. This is downtown's what is it? Shigetop, Songnam-dong. I haven't even noticed this area. This Burger King place here is pretty new. I think, I don't know, new to me because I don't visit this area quite often. But yeah, there used to be a fire department. That's it. There used to be a fire department here, and now it's gone. And now instead of the fire department, we have this thing. We have this thing here. Construction. I wonder what they're building. But anyway, there is a wall now, and everybody parks there, even though I guess they're not allowed to. But temporarily, when there are constructions and there's space, until somebody says something, these guys are parking. Unless the sign says no parking, and everybody just gives it the middle finger. Whatever. Oh, this is the dude blocking the entrance to the underground parking, I guess, from a different angle. Just kind of got mixed up. Okay, well, that's it. That's it for these beauties for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's see, is anybody in the chat? I don't know because I didn't put the chat up. Let me just fix that quickly. Poppity pop. I gotta move the chat over just quickly here. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second here, folks. All right. Right on what you right on. All right, so thanks for providing the pic from Uslan. That was very, very nice. Lisa, good evening, Lisa. Yes, thanks for popping by, Lisa. We're gonna start off with that. Let me just pull that up here for you, Lisa. Lisa, my good friend Lisa, is having another wonderful, what is it? Mid-year course on calligraphy. Where is it? It's right here. Here we go. We'll go over to the browser. Learn the basic strokes to do beautiful hand lettering. Sign up today. Lisa's workshop will be taking place this summer. Thursday evening set from 8:30 to 9:30, June 9th, 23rd, and July 7th, 21st. And then you've got, what is it, Sunday afternoon set from 3:30 to 4:30, June 12th, 26th, and July 10th and 24th. Workshops, spots are limited. Workshops are 36 Korean won per month, plus supplies. So if you do choose to register, go over here, register to Lisa's class, and she'll send out a nifty little kit for you to use during the class, and you're ready to go. So if you want to get on board with this, classes start in June and July, which means that you only have a month left. It's June, June 9th. So sign up quickly so you don't run out of space, or she doesn't run out of space and you run out of the opportunity to get yourself in the class. There you go. Alrighty. So for today, what do we got here? So I don't know if you heard, but mandates for mask mandates have been lifted finally. Hallelujah. And guess what? Today I was strolling around the street. Actually, I started yesterday. I posted a short on the channel. If you're not following the Live in Korea channel, then I strongly suggest you start doing so right now. Make sure to smash up the like on the video and subscribe to the channel, obviously. And then head over and check out the short that I posted yesterday about test driving this sucker, aka not wearing a mask for the day. that was something interesting. I wasn't too pushy about it, you know. I put my mask on when I entered a store or whatever, but when I was out in the street, I just dropped it completely. Today I had my mask on at work, obviously, because, you know, it's enclosed spaces. Enclosed spaces, we're still required to wear masks, which is ridiculous, really. I was talking to my 13-year-old or 12-year-old today, you know, and she basically said that, yes, when we're inside, we have to keep the masks on. And I made the point of saying, so if we're in a restaurant with 10 people, if we're in a place with 10 people, then we have to keep our masks on. But if we're in a restaurant with 10 people, then we need to take the masks off because we can't eat. And she kind of looked at me, you know, realizing how little sense these things make. But anyway. The Korea Times posted today. So mandates have been lifted. We're all free to go around without masks. On mask-free days, some feel uncomfortable with no masks, and I found that to be very true. Today, literally, nobody was not wearing any masks. Everybody was wearing masks. I was literally, I kid you not, the only person without a mask. In the evening, I saw a few older dudes who had their masks slinked underneath their chins. You know, I guess this is like precautionary. If you go into a place, you flip them back on and you're good to go. When I did enter a restaurant today, getting a pizza inside a little chicken space, you know, hole-in-the-wall type setup, mama and pops, there was just myself and two people working inside. Initially, when I came in, the older gentleman was looking at me a bit askance. But he never said anything. I was polite, he was polite. I got my stuff and I left, and no comments were made, at least not to my face. I wonder what they said behind my back. Maybe they never mentioned anything, excuse me. In any case, Monday marked the first day when the lifting of the outdoor masks mandate came into effect. 566 days since the nation introduced it on October 2020. Despite the relaxed rules, people seen in crowded city streets on Monday morning included both masked and unmasked members of the public. And I just want to stress that not everyone, I guess I've encountered people on Facebook who claim that they used to wear masks religiously prior to COVID for their own intents purposes, and they continue to do so, and they did continue to wear masks throughout COVID, and they will continue to do so post-COVID pandemic stages. But for the majority of people who, you know, didn't wear masks on a regular basis, this will take a while getting used to. And as somebody mentioned on Facebook as well, I'm concerned about the long-term psychological effects that this will have on children. By the way, how is the music? Please, is that? Because it's booming in my ear, and I'm just wondering if it's acceptable for viewership. You know, kids will have a harder time getting rid of these masks, particularly the smaller ones. Like, you know, imagine if you're a kid and you're 5 years old, and for the 2 years of your tiny little life, you were forced to wear masks. Now, right now, you're 6 years old, and you know, your parents are obviously still not pushing hard for not wearing masks. So, well, first of all, you wouldn't even know that you don't need to wear a mask anymore. But even if you're told that you no longer need to wear a mask, I wonder what the effect of that will be. My kids are a bit hesitant about not wearing masks. I told them, if you're in school, you can put your mask on. Although technically, well, okay, it's enclosed, but you know, technically, we don't need to wear masks any longer if we're surrounded by fewer than 50 people. But I guess in closed spaces, you're still required to wear a mask. Like I said, despite the fact that in a restaurant, you drop the masks because you need to fill your mouth hole with consumables. And my son today, he said he dropped his mask and he described that somebody was giving him a dirty look over that. And so I said, you know, just don't worry. People will do that because everybody tries to push their righteousness and their whatever, you know, thoughts and beliefs on you. But stick to your guns and just do whatever you want to do. Take your mask outside, start breathing the semi-clean inner city air, and put your mask on if you're inside, if you're indoors, if you're in a classroom, or maybe test drive it too. Take it off in your classroom and see what your teacher says. If your teacher starts throwing a flippant, then put it back on. It may be that news. Okay, there were those with the masks in hand while walking who only put it on when boarding public transport, so as to abide by the national quarantine regulations that still requires masks to be worn in enclosed or indoor spaces. It may be that news of the mandates lift on Monday hasn't reached all. That's true, as some wearing masks may still think the measure is in place. Or it may be that the ease quantitative regulation simply needs more time for more members of the public to put themselves at ease and expose their faces more comfortably. I assume it's going to take a while before people start dropping their masks. It's the first day. I was always of the mind that, on the very first day I'm maskless, and I stuck to my guns. I feel weird that I don't have to wear it anymore. See what I mean? This is it. This is like the psychological mindfuck that we're all going through. People are feeling weird, and even I, not wearing a mask, I felt like people were looking at me not wearing a mask. It's just psychologically we're now brainwashed into feeling guilty over not wearing a mask, and this is pretty powerful stuff, because. Basically, we can be trained to do anything and fall in line with anything. If regulations like that are imposed on people for long enough, eventually the self-regulating psychology kicks in, and we're not able to get out of it. There does need to be oversight. After a certain time, there is no need for oversight, and we're all just in robot mode, monitoring ourselves or giving people dirty looks over certain things that they're doing or not doing that go against our training, so to speak. Like, imagine somebody going buck-hard, I guess, all nude on the street, right? We're all used to wearing clothes. I mean, it's kind of extreme, but it's a similar idea. Like, we all know what the human body looks like, but if you saw a naked person outside on the street, you'd be possibly appalled or maybe enticed. Whatever the reaction would be severe, right? You'd be giving them dirty looks, going like, "What the hell are you doing? Why are you not wearing clothes?" And so, yeah, it's a self-regulating body. Nobody needs to be, there is no need for signs telling people to wear clothes when they go outside. We simply do it because otherwise we'd feel extremely ashamed, or just, shyness kicks in at the young age. Nobody walks around naked. It's the same thing with masks right now. People wear masks, and they probably will be wearing masks simply because they will feel like people will be looking at them. And until the time that, there will be more and more leaders like myself, maskless bandits, crossing the streets, it's gonna take a while for people to start dropping masks. Let me go into comments quickly because Ben has arrived and there's some comments, clickety click, so I'm gonna switch over to the comments chat. Let's have a look here at chat. Ben, welcome Ben. Your crypto stream was great, man. Latest episode. Thanks, man. I don't know which crypto stream. I posted a couple of videos. They were not streams. They were not live streams. I posted I think 3 videos that I recorded, and that's what I'm going to be doing mostly right now. I don't really have time for podcasts, man. It's exhausting. I was doing the 2 podcasts here. I was doing the Korea podcast and then the crypto updates podcast right after, and I found that the crypto podcast wasn't receiving a lot of audiences, and so I stopped doing that, and I switched over to actually providing some useful information for crypto lovers, and actually making videos that will hopefully be helpful to people, and kind of what do you call those videos? Evergreens, yeah. So videos that you can rewatch again and again, and hopefully they're helpful. So that's what I'm aiming at making videos like that for the crypto updates. By the way, if you're interested in crypto, then head over to the crypto market updates channel. I may have a link below this video or not. I think there is one. So anyway, yeah, okay, going back to what's up. Right, people feeling weird. 139-year-old man not wearing a mask, on the other hand, seemed vibrant. I have been looking forward to this day, he said on his way to work in Seoul's Jung district. I see that many people are still wearing them, but I guess they will eventually take them off. I hope I also don't need to wear it inside my office soon. And that's the thing with Korea, right? Korea is a country of collectivism. It's a collectivist country, and so people follow the trend. You know, nobody wants to be the first one to break the stride, or very few do, at least. For the most part, I think people will be very reserved about not wearing masks until the time that more and more Koreans slowly begin to take off masks. And even then, I'm sure there's going to be people who will, you know, remain on the cautious side and you know, who are so petrified. I mean, Koreans are scared of pigeons, for Pete's sake. So what do you think, what kind of influence does a global pandemic have on that psychological aspect of human existence here, right? Oh, Cheerios. Ben says, all your stuff is good, man. Always mention your vids to locals. Thanks, brother. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yeah, so that's what's happening with the masks. Numbers of COVID are dropping. I don't even bother. I haven't looked at COVID cases in a very long time. So anyway. Scandals. What's happening on the scandal front? Let's move on away from the masks, because, you know, we're good. We're good to go. Corona's gone. Omicron took over the world. Omicron, or call it, you know, what it is right now. Anyway, police raid Songnam City Hall over corruption allegations surrounding ex-presidential candidate Lee. Apparently, this dude took a whack of money. Lee, who unsuccessfully ran for the presidential election in March on the Democratic Party's ticket, is facing allegations that he took some 16 billion won in corporate donations from Uslan Group, internet portal giant Naver, and other during 2014-2016 as the owner of Songnam FC in return for business favors for the companies. Anybody working in politics here, I don't believe that they're straight. I mean, politicians are corrupt to begin with back home. In Korea, the land of corruption. On a good day, you know, politicians are probably front running the whole freaking deal. Here's another raid. Police raid Woori Bank headquarters over embezzlement probe. Yeah, it's just scandal after scandal. People stealing money left and right, man. Police raided the headquarters of Woori Bank, one of South Korea's largest commercial banks, on Monday, as one of the bank's employees is suspected of embezzling more than 60 billion won, $47 million. Police confiscated computers and documents of the employee during the 4-hour raid, officials said. According to the bank, the employee, who has worked at Woori Bank for more than 10 years, took out a total of 61 billion won through 3 withdrawals in 2012, 2015, 2018. Most of the stolen money was from a 57.8 billion won contract deposit that Woori Bank has to return to an Iranian company in connection with a failed acquisition deal. Holy macaroni, that is interesting. You know what? My view on Korea, like, Koreans are, I mean, most of the world is anyway, but and I'm sure other countries as well. But I guess, you know, Asians are very well known, I guess, back home for being good with money, or being good with business, I guess. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the stereotype. And I find that, you know, when it comes to Korea, compared to my friends, you know, the topic of money comes up a lot more than what I'm used to. People will talk about money here a lot at, you know, different occasions, and anytime there's a possibility of making money, people will jump at it. So, and I guess that goes back, you know, to the recent history of Korea's occupation and the Korean War, which didn't happen really that far, particularly when you look at how history and how these politics are carried over from generation to generation, despite the fact that, you know, the Korean, what is it, Generation X now or something, or whatever, I don't know, whatever generation it is, it changes every 2 years now. The mentality of financial prosperity carries on, particularly, I guess, since Korea is such a hard country to survive in. Students going to top universities have a 50-50 chance of securing a job after graduation, which is shocking. So whenever people come to power and come in a position of privilege or being able to get a hold of as much cash as they can, they usually tend to do it. Because I mean, this is not the first and not the last time that you hear stories like that, of CEOs embezzling presidential candidates, politicians doing this kind of stuff. I mean, I think you hear a lot more about it here than you do back home. Maybe this happens equally so back home, probably does, but it's just, for some reason, it's a lot more prevalent here. I may be wrong. I guess maybe we'd have to do the research, but based on what I've seen, and it's just constantly somebody stealing money somewhere. Korean embassy officials returned to Kyiv ministry. So I guess at the outbreak of the Russian-Ukrainian war, the embassy fellowship of the Korean embassy have been taken out of Kyiv, but now apparently they're going back. Korea's top envoy to Ukraine and some other embassy staff have returned to Kyiv to restart operations there, according to Seoul's foreign ministry. Korean embassy officials had evacuated from the capital and worked at a temporary office in the Ukrainian city of Chernivtsi since March, following Russia's invasion of the country. Kim Hyung-tae and some embassy staff have returned to Kyiv in preparation for work. They're starting Monday. I wonder why. So things are beginning to look up. They plan to carry out tasks on diplomatic affairs and protesting Korean nationals under closer cooperation with the Ukrainian government. Okay, well, there you go. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If this is an indication of things returning to or not returning to normal, but stabilizing a little bit there in Ukraine or not. I have not been following the conflict at all, to be honest. Some interesting news from South Korea. South Korea's icebreaker returning home from over 6 months Antarctic mission. I had no idea Korea had icebreakers or that there were Antarctic missions. Did you? I had no idea. This photo provided by the Sea Polar Research Institute on July 21st shows South Korea icebreaker Aaron conducting Arctic research. How old is this article? Yeah, okay, this is May 2nd. South Korea's icebreaker is on its way to the southeastern port of Busan after completing a 195-day international exploration mission in the Antarctic Ocean, the Oceans Ministry said Monday. The Aaron, South Korea's first ice-breaking vessel, kicked off its mission to the South Pole on October 20th last year and will return to Busan on Tuesday, the Ministry of Ocean Fisheries said. The ship explored the sea under the Twites Eastern Ice Shelf, one of the biggest ice shelves in West Antarctica, with helicopters and devices attached to seals as part of global efforts to examine the cause of global warming and study the Antarctic ecosystem. So that was its mission. Lisa says, how surprising about the icebreakers. Yeah, I know, man. There's a lot of stuff that Korea, I pulled up some, so I'm gonna go through them because it's interesting stuff. There's some things that Korea is involved in that I had no idea about because you don't really talk about it. But yeah, you'll be surprised in a little bit. Okay, so there you go. So there's Korea involved in trying to figure out what causes global warming. Korea develops world's first fiber-based white OLEDs. This is pretty cool. Basically, we're looking at fluorescent or fiber glass, Jesus, what is it? Whatever, close that display stuff on them. That's what it is. South Korea's researchers have developed the world's first fiber-based white organic light-emitting diodes, or WOLEDs, paving the way for more functional wearable tech. Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology said Wednesday. So I guess this is a computer graphic, but that's the idea. They're going to be putting these suckers into clothes or developing clothes of that kind of caliber and having stuff in them. And I guess pretty soon you'll be able to have whatever hiking shirts or jogging shirts, and you'll have all your gears, your phones and watches in your backpack somewhere in the bottom, and all you will need to do is look at your wrist on which you will have a display of this size, and there will be everything. You'll probably be looking at, you'll be able to check your messages just on your wrist and stuff like that, or on your sleeve rather. So that's pretty cool. This is the first in the world, first research, for world's first fiber-based white OLED. Pretty cool. PTSD treatment mechanism unlocked for first time. Another first time for Korea, apparently. I don't know exactly how this works. I don't know much about PTSD medicine or treatment. All I know is that Korea lacks in the Department of Human Psychology. I mentioned that sometime on Facebook the past week. So this is good because that's in the Department of Psychology. The Institute of Basic Science has identified the scientific mechanism of post-traumatic stress disorder treatment for the first time in the world through animal experiments, the Ministry of Science and ICT said Thursday. According to the ministry, the researchers used the PTSD treatment NYX783, which is currently under clinical trials by the US biopharmaceutical company Uptinix, for animal experiments using mice and discovered the principle of its treatment effects. I'm not sure exactly what that means. The principle of its treatment effects? In doing so, the researchers laid out the world's first theoretical foundation and clear strategies for the development of PTSD treatment, the ministry said. I guess they found an answer to medicine that will actually work this time. The researchers analyzed that the adaptation can activate N-methyl D-aspartate receptors of NMDA and induce a manifestation of brain-derived neurotropic factor, or abrinurin, to improve the plasticity of nerve cells to restrain fearful memories. There you go. So basically they'll be able to subdue memories by just popping pills, I guess. I don't know if there was medicine in the past. I guess PTSD was usually treated with, I don't know, through psychological or psychiatric means by maybe antidepressants. But I guess maybe there was no proper PTSD medicine, and apparently now that may be coming to an end, thanks to Korea. Science Ministry to set up Korean version of US DARPA. Now, I don't know what DARPA is. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Isn't DARPA the thing that everybody, or was it HARP? Oh, that was HARP. Never mind. HARP. But anyway, the government will introduce the Korean version of the US Defense Advanced Research Project Agency this year to accelerate future-oriented research on innovative technology, science, and ICT. Adopting the US DARPA model, creator of the computer mouse drones, the internet processor, Banet GPS, and voice recognition, the Korean agency will have its own independent rights in operation and budget to lead challenging research and development of next-level technology. So there's money coming to Korea. If you get kids, man, steer them towards IT. That's the future, man. We should all be ITing ourselves up, even if you're an adult, man. Just get yourself into IT, because that's where the world is heading. I heard Elon Musk, though. I watched part of an interview yesterday, on TED Talk with Elon Musk, and he is of the mind that goods and services will become ridiculously cheap. Now, I missed the part of him saying how that would come to be. But seeing how Musk tends to be on the ball about a lot of things, his predictions, I'm sure he's got an aim, or he zeroed in on what he's doing, and when he says stuff, I think he's got kind of an idea, and not department, he's got kind of an idea of where things are going in the world. So I don't know. Do you remember the things on I don't know the name, on Star Trek? the machine that produced anything you wanted. You just call it out and, you know, I want a violin, and the machine would basically particularize a violin for you right then and there, and you'd get your meals from the same machine. Maybe that's what he's talking about, man. What is it, matter reconstructor or something like that? Anyway, moving on. That ain't it. What are we looking at here? Oh yeah. Why? Behind Korea's love for crispy flavor fried chicken. This is an interesting article I found. How did it begin? So Korea's holodeck. Oh, is that what it's called? A holodeck? Is that what it is? The machine that Lisa says is called a holodeck? I have no idea. I don't remember what it's called. Can we Google it? Let's Google it. Star Trek's food producing machine. I don't think that's it. Replicator. Replicator? Is that what it is? Yeah, that's the replicator. That's the replicator? Well, then you need something. I guess what if you store everything in a memory? Star Trek replicator is a machine that can create and recycle things. Replicators were originally seen to simply synthesize meals on demand, but in later series, much larger non-food items appear. Replicator. There may be a more specific one for food. Yeah, but this is it. That's the replicator. Pretty cool. Yeah, so maybe that's what Musk was referring to. Maybe he's working on some replicators, man. Back to the chicken. So we know that Korea is nuts about chicken. Apparently there is like, what are the numbers? There were more than 27,000 franchise fried chicken restaurants in Korea as of 2020, which is just 2 years ago. I assume the number jumped up now over the duration of the pandemic. And how did it start? Korea's fried chicken restaurant boom dates back to the 1997 Asian financial crisis. Thousands of people got laid off in the wake of the financial crisis and were suddenly left out on the streets. Many chose to open a fried chicken shop due to the low entry barriers. It's not too expensive to start a fried chicken shop, so many people jumped onto it. I heard somebody say that if you want to open a restaurant but you don't know how to cook, you go and open a fried chicken restaurant. Thousands of people got laid off. Oh wait, I read that. The number of fried chicken restaurants grew explosively in the aftermath of the 1997 Asian financial turmoil. A lot of women joined the workforce to open a chicken restaurant with their husbands who lost his job and was only left with severance pay. Young people that couldn't get employed also jumped on the fried chicken bandwagon. The eased criteria to get a loan from the government fanned the trend. So basically that's how it started. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but that's how fried chicken mania started in Korea. Yeah, what's this here? Why? Oh yeah. Koreans like to categorize everything. Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar. If you've been living in Korea for some time, you're familiar with what blood type are you, you know, or not so much the zodiac signs, unless it's the Chinese zodiac signs. But yeah, blood types, palm reading, and now MBTI. If you don't know what MBTI, I just came across this a couple of months ago. MBTI, let's see, MBTI is the Myers-Briggs type indicator, and it's divided into, it's basically a personality type indicator. You've got the extraversion, introversion, sensing, intuition, thinking, feeling, judging, and perception. And all of these 8 factors are all jumbled up into the different categories, you know, and that's what the Myers-Briggs type indicator is. But apparently this is a new thing now in Korea where people use this a lot. Yeah, so I don't know, it starts from Korean culture. So yeah, why are Koreans so obsessed about classifying people? It just makes more sense. Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's got something to do with well, just with Korean culture, how everything, you know, everyone has a place, and you need to know what type of language to use and how to behave with people, and it kind of bypasses the whole having to get to know people thing. Particularly, I guess, in a culture where bumping into strangers is very limited. Like when you meet people, it's almost like it's a purpose. You know, you either meet people who are the same age and then you're friends. If you're older than them, then they're your whatever artificial siblings. your dongsengs, and if you're younger than them, then you've got oppas and hyungs and onnis, right? Big brothers, little brothers, and big sisters and little sisters and all that stuff. And so I guess maybe this, having a psychological test, kind of helps you categorize people quickly, and you don't have to try to be friends, you just sidestep them. But yeah, that's a big thing. In case if you didn't know, MBTI, check it out. Interesting stuff. And one more time, take a look at Lisa's class. Register right now. You know what? I didn't include it in the. Here, I'll post it in the chat. I'm gonna include it in below the video. Let me just see if I can do that now. Yes. Yeah, I believe I can. I'm gonna include it now. Lisa's lovely letters. Is that still lovely letters? Yes, lovely letters. Registration. Bing. There we go. I hope this works. The link should be below the video. If you're interested in joining Lisa's class, then make sure to follow the link, register, and then you're good to go, yo. Alrighty. That's it. That's it for today's podcast. Hope everybody enjoyed this 41 minutes of craziness. Ben, thanks for swinging by. Lisa, always thank you for your support and for being here. Don't remember to smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time to the Live in Korea podcast, to the Korea podcast, and the first time to the Live in Korea channel, then do the same. And I'm out of air, so I'll stop talking and I will see you next week. Have a good day, have a good evening, and have a wonderful rest of the week. First week of May. Bye-bye.